Good morning, everyone. It's episode 37 of the Digital Commando Show. See, I get it wrong eventually. The Digital Commando Show. Thank you all for joining me today. It's Web Wednesday. I've got another fantastic day for you with some fantastic guests that are going to join us. And what do we talk about on Web Wednesdays? Just as a recap, we talk about what makes a great website. So we're going to talk about that to our guests. Then we're going to talk about once you've got a great website, how do you drive traffic to that great website? And then once there, we'll talk about some tips on using affiliates, brand ambassadors, and influencers. So it's going to be a great day. So our guests today are Jen and Jan. So let's bring them into the room. Oh, I was going to take this banner off. Hi, Jan. Hi, Jen.
Morning.
Tongue twister. I got to say that 20 times. Jen and Jan, Jen and Jan. I'll get there. How are you doing? All right?
Yeah, doing good. Good here.
Fantastic. So, for those that may not know you, Jan, we're going to come to you first. Can you just give everybody a bit of an introduction as to who you are and what you do, please?
Okay, my name is Jan Kiermas. I run Blue Giraffe websites. I have been a web designer and developer for the last 17 years, plus a little bit now. We are specialised in WordPress websites and entry-level websites. So we help businesses basically get in there and get off the ground, but we do have a lot of experience in building more sort of corporate level websites as well. But there was a huge gap really for small businesses in particular to actually get their first website up and running, which was a decent website for them, but gave them, a good price bracket.
Super. Awesome. Thank you very much, Jen. And Jan, just when, because we're getting a bit of the wind coming through on your microphone, are you right just to mute in between?
Yeah, fine.
So we get that, that'd be great. Jen, over to you. Tell us a bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, I am Jen Bradburn, and my business is called SEM Help. So I am here to help, just basically help, to be honest. I do SEO and search engine marketing, but the main aim of it is to be able to get people self-sufficient. So if, the small businesses who have got a pretty website, but it's not reaching the right audience, they're not keeping up to date with Google algorithm updates, then they're just missing the mark. So they've got this pretty brochure on the website, on the internet, that nobody finds. So I help small businesses just be found. And like I said, the key for me is just to do project work and help people be self-sufficient, because one-man bands, small businesses, they do a lot of their own blogging and manage their own updates. They just need somewhere to start. And literally, I can give you everything you need to do it yourself if you're WordPress proficient, or I can do the work for you. It's as simple as that, to be honest.
Absolutely superb. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. It is very, very exciting to have you on the show. Guys, for everybody watching, we only ask one thing on the show every day. You know what I'm going to say already, and that is, if you benefit from anything we talk about on the show, then please do share it with people. And if you know anybody else that could benefit, then please do tag them in the comments. And all of you should be joining the Digital Marketing Commando's Facebook group. It'd be great if I knew what it was called, wouldn't it? So, guys, if you want to keep up to date on the shows, then please do join the group. Right, let's get straight into it. Jan, we're going to come to you first with what makes a great website. Now, over time, this has changed. It's been a bit crazy where websites, I know when we started doing them 8 years ago, I know they've been around for a lot longer. We started building them for Sigma about 8 years ago. And the difference between the websites we made then and the websites we made now is incredible. But for you, in the current market, what makes a great website?
I think one of the main things today is to keep it simple and don't try and do too much. It needs to look nice. It needs a pleasant place for someone to be, but it also needs to deliver on your message. You've got to think about the purpose that your website is going to be for you. Do you want them to pick up the phone and call you? Is it something that they need to click and buy from? And the website needs to be very much purpose driven. So you need to make a decision on what it is that you want from it, really. Yes, it needs to be pretty, it needs to be nice, but it needs to be functional primarily. A lot of the time, even on corporate websites, they're not particularly functional. It might look really nice, but it can be difficult to find the information you're looking for. And these are things that people are concerned about when they go into a website. It's very much a case of function, ease of use, but looks a nice place to be and looks professional. It's got to reflect how you are as a brand. I have lost you. I can't hear you, Stefan.
That's completely my fault. See, it's live. I said to you guys before the show, don't be nervous because I'm the one that always messes up. And there you go, I've done it already. Muted myself. Great. No, that it's a really, really good point, Jan. It's one of those things that when it's talking about one of the big things that we say to people when we build websites, and I like what you said at the end there about making sure it's their personality is coming across in the site. And the best way to do this is use your own photography. Stop using stock photography. It's horrible. People hate it. It makes it's not the old thing. We used to go, if you use it, you look corporate, you look bigger than you are. It's not true now. You don't even look like a real company anymore. It just looks fake. People don't trust you. They can't bond with you, and people buy from people that they trust. So use real photography. I would say don't even launch your website until you've got this photography. Spend some money, get the photography done, and make sure that's budgeted into your website because it makes such a huge difference. So yeah, I really, really like that. Jen, we're going to come over to you.
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
Not only do I have stock photography in my banners on my website, I'm a photographer.
No way.
But I chose my images wisely, so hopefully they don't look too bad. And they're certainly not one of these, when you get a stock photograph and it's on everybody's website who does the same thing as you. Yeah. It doesn't kind of follow that theme. I've been quite picky about the ones I've chosen. But photography is, yes, definitely up there and crucial, especially when it comes to corporate websites who have staff. Nobody wants to see two random people off Adobe Stock shaking hands. Take photos of your team doing their job. For me, I did my first website 18 years ago because that really makes me feel old. Learning code and HTML. But I think now, long gone are the days of Flash or any of that nonsense. It needs to be clear. You need to be consistent, and your website for you is your place to show you're an expert. But for your audience, it needs to be simple, structured, easy to find, and a place that they trust.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. I think this is one of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on at Sigma. You go to the front page of Sigma, who do you see? Me. And you've got Milos, Daria there, so some of our team. Admittedly, we need to do a refresh. I think it's important for people to keep their websites up to date. We would like to put more of the team on there and things like that. But I think that's what it is. It is kind of showing that it's more emotive, isn't it? When you can see the person. And I like it when I see the person and then I speak to them on the phone. I'm like, I know what you look like. It's kind of that bond you get straight away. So yeah, no, definitely suggest that. Let's go on to talk a bit more about once we've got a good website. So we've obviously chosen a good CMS, preferably WordPress, obviously. Then we're going to move forward. Does anybody not use WordPress?
I use it regularly. It's our
This is why we do the show, because we have fun now. Right, come on then.
There was a reason. There was a method to my madness. I've actually currently, just at the minute, I'm doing an experiment, and my website is using 123 Reg's website builder.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. But I wanted to, a lot of the people that I want to talk to and help will be using simple things like 123 Reg or 1-on-1 Builder or Wix. And actually, they're not, well, I don't know if I should say this. They're not great. They're not great for SEO. They're not great for optimization. I don't care what they say. They're not very user-friendly. So I kind of did it to prove a point.
No, that's a good point to make.
It's a very good point to make, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because actually, you could write a website in Notepad, and it should be able to rank. So yeah, I did it to prove a point. And it seems to have done me a little favour with the my algorithm update. One of my search terms, because my website's brand new, so as you can imagine, I'm also practicing what I preach. It doesn't rank highly, but one of my search terms has jumped all the way up to number 5. in the last week.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've done it to prove a point, although I am very WordPress proficient as well. So and like I said, I can write code. But a lot of small businesses don't know where to turn. So I thought, if I'm going to help sole traders, I might as well learn some of the programs that are being marketed to them.
Well, with sole traders, if they're in a niche and they're local, in all fairness to them, probably a Wix website wouldn't be so bad, because you can rank for anything you like if you've got zero competition. Like if you're the only person doing that in your town, it doesn't really matter what website you've got. You're the only guy that does it. As long as people can go on there, there's correct calls to actions and things like that, you're good to go, really, isn't it? But so there's a place for it. Obviously, it saves a bit of money. If you're actually targeting a wider area and you are trying to compete, naturally, we all agree WordPress is going to be significantly better. I compare it when I talk to clients about this, and you guys are probably the same. We would say we build a WordPress website, and then afterwards you're going to start like an SEO package or something to kind of start getting you up there. Now, let's take two websites. One was Wix and one was your WordPress one. Now you can spend the same amount of money, but this one is going to move quicker. So you'll go up, let's say for every 5 places you move up that way, you're only moving 2 places up with your Wix website. So over the long term, it's much more cost effective to get the WordPress one than it would be to get the Wix one. Anybody disagree or agree? Or?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, WordPress was written with Google in mind.
Mm-hmm.
When they did it, so it's very it's lean code really for a CMS. It's a lot leaner than the others.
Yeah, I'm looking at moving across to WordPress at the end of June, simply for the fact I'd like to see the differences over 2 6-month periods. Which seems like a costly experiment, but actually neither of them are really expensive packages if you can do a lot of the work yourself. It's once you deviate from the standard that you need help, and some people just don't get it. WordPress isn't necessarily easy. But yeah, so I'm not going to do that till July the 1st, because I want to have those 2 well-defined periods to be able to compare and see the differences with.
It'll be interesting to see the results from that, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that as well, Jen.
I'll when I get it done, I'll let you both know.
Once you've done it, in about another 6 months when it's all been tested, drop us a line and come back on the show and tell us how it went. That'd be good. We'll be up for that. So we've created this great site. We've got a question coming. Actually, this is quite relevant to the first point. So let's put it onto the screen. So Sarah Gibson's asked, could you give 3 things not to do on your website? And completely agree with the photo tip. Awesome. Sarah's been watching the show for ages and she knows loads now. Probably that's what I mean. So that's fine. So we'll come over to Jan first. That's all right.
Is that Jan or Jen? This is getting confusing now.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, Jan, we'll come over to you first.
Yeah, I mean, 3 things not to do. 1, don't try and cram everything on one page. You need to have space. So you need to give things space to breathe. So don't try and make it too busy. Don't use we and I. It should be written for your client. So you should avoid talking about the business. It's what the business can do for the audience. And 3rd thing, think about your colours. You don't want to use colours that are either inappropriate to you, inappropriate to your brand, or are going to make your eyes bleed. Think about that. Think about how it's going to appear to someone. You want them to spend time there.
Yeah, it is good,
there's some top tips.
It is. This is it. It needs to be an enjoyable place to be. We always compare. When I used to go to networking events, I used to try and say to people that they used to go, "So what do you do?" And we talked about marketing more than websites at the time. But I say, right, imagine that you're having a house party. Now, the house pie is your website. It looks fantastic. You've got the best DJs. It's good to go. Now, us as a company, we bring the people to the pie. And this was the kind of thing that we used to kind of say to people, that it needs to be somewhere that people want to go. They want to stay. They want to enjoy themselves to a degree, as a motive as possible. I totally agree with them. Don't do everything on a page. Like, this was a fashionable thing a few years ago, wasn't it? Let's do like a 1-page website. Yeah. Well, you're not going to rank on Google for that, are you? You're going to rank for one term, which is your brand. rubbish. So don't do the one-page website things. It's not cool. It's not clever, people. I would stay well away from it. So Jen, over to you. What are your answer for Sarah?
This is great, actually, because Jan does it from a design and how it appears point of view. For me, it's the making sure you can be found point of view. Do not use jargon. It may be common in your industry and your peers, but your customers and your target market might not use those terms to come and find you and speak to you. I can say, right, I do SEM, but are my customers, my ideal customers, going to go Google, I need help with SEM, or they're going to look for Google Ads, help with marketing, help with advertising, help with internet advertising? So use your customers' words and just cut the jargon. Also, don't have complete verbal diarrhea. Yes, you need content and you need good quality content, but quality definitely outranks quantity. So address your customers' pain points as efficiently as possible without just waffling. And the third one is don't forget that everybody will get to your website on any page. So remember to treat every page as if that's the first page they've come across. So have your introductions and your explanations and have a call to action on every page, because somebody might enter on a blog, really like what you've got to say, but if they just bounce away again, it doesn't bring them any value and they won't be able to get in touch. People don't like looking for stuff, basically. We're lazy. And our websites need to reflect that. As human beings, we're lazy and we want the information there and then.
So lazy. Very low attention spans, human beings now. Younger you are, lower your attention span is now. Complete fact. I totally agree with the jargon side of things. There's so much jargon on websites, and it's all crap. And it's normally found, and this is going to shock a couple people, and people watching this hate me for this because I know some of the people that watch it. Blog pages. Some of them are rubbish. Sorry, people, but some of your blogs are a bit crap, and no one wants to read them. Yeah, all right. There's a bit of like, oh, we're doing it for SEO. We want Google to find it. Well, nice one. To be fair, if nobody reads it, Google's not going to read it either. It needs to have traffic on it for Google to really go, oh, I'm actually going to listen to that. So if you've got somebody in-house, I talk about this a lot. If you've got somebody in-house spending 8 hours writing a blog that nobody's reading, and you can find out if anybody's reading it because you can check your Google Analytics. And if any of you haven't got Google Analytics not installed, what are you doing? Make sure you've got your Google Analytics installed. I have seen people not do this. A lot of people not do it. Get Google Analytics on your website, run it for a few months, keep checking your check the analytics, and make sure you're checking your blog pages. This is so key. It's a money saver if you've not got staff or an agency. Sometimes it's an agency. Some agencies are rubbish as well. Now, if you're not getting any traffic to the blog that they're spending so much money on or spending so much time writing, don't bloody write it. Like, that's it. Just forget it. There's better things you can do with your time. Keyword research has been my big tip of things not to do. It's do not do keyword research. So, there you go. I'm spinning. So keyword research is so key when people are doing websites. Before you do the website, make sure you've done your keyword research, because that tells you what pages you need to build. And obviously all these pages would be potentially landing pages. So bear in mind that that's the first page people are going to see when they land on the website. And then my last thing is, the tips not to do on your website, do not, especially on a WordPress site, do not upload your 3-15 1-hour video into WordPress on the website and hope it will play for everyone. Upload it to YouTube, embed it onto the site. What this means is the site is less heavy. It's not got all this data trying to crunch it out. Your website's not going to crash in that sense, because it's just pulling it from. Let YouTube do all the hard work. Just let it play through your website.
Same with your imagery.
Say again, sorry?
Same with your photos and your images. Just cut them down. Don't have a 3 meg photo on one page.
Yeah, it goes to website load speeds, doesn't it? Now, again, take this with a pinch of salt, and other people might disagree, but Now, if your website is loading at under 2 seconds, don't get all hung up about trying to get it down to 1.5 or 1 second because you feel like it's going to increase where you rank in the rankings. It is a factor, but it's not a massive factor. If it's really slow, like 8 seconds, okay, it's a factor. If it's under 2, generally just don't worry about it. I don't like it. Don't get hung up on website speed too much because a lot of people do get really hung up on it, as you guys know as well. Get it low, it's fine. And that's all I'm going to say. They're my top 3 things not to and to do on your website. So driving traffic to websites. How do you drive traffic to websites? We've got a great website. How do we get people to it? Jan, I have to say it clearly because there's 2. Jan, what would be your preferred method or top tip for people to drive traffic to a website?
There are lots of different platforms you can use to drive traffic to your website. For even with SEO, you need to have traffic to the website. So you've got all your social media choices. You can use that to drive your traffic. You can guest blog for other websites, established websites, and get traffic to your website from another website, particularly where you are looking at the same target market, but maybe talking about a slightly different topic. You've got the things like Google My Business. If you are local, then you can use Google My Business to drive traffic into your website. And all of these things should back up with a good website. There's no point driving them to a crap website. But they all go hand in hand with helping get your SEO done. I mean, Jen's the expert more on SEO on it, but it's all these things combined together to help drive that traffic, which then helps Google rank you to drive more traffic.
Absolutely. It's like a spider's web, isn't it? If you've got your website's kind of sat in the middle, and we've all seen the video. If anybody's not seen the video, it's a great video that explains exactly how Google crawls the internet. And it's a lot quicker than it used to be. So you're in the middle, spider's web going out, the more links coming into your website from all over the place, easier to find you, more likely to rank if it's coming from the more high authority places it's coming from. It's good. Link building, great. Jen.
I actually wrote some notes about this because, when you get performance anxiety on a screen, and what I've said is actually, theoretically, this is the easiest bit of the World Wide Web. But the problem we have is the competition. The World Wide Web is so densely populated, you need to convince the search engines that what you're seeing is the most relevant to the search term that somebody's put in. So I forgot the question. How do you get traffic
to the website?
First, as you said, do your keyword research. Don't get hung up on the term keyword anymore, especially as the latest algorithm updates are so focused on natural language.
Synonyms, yeah.
But speak to your customers and your audience in the language they use and make sure you feature the search terms they're actually looking for. There are loads of tools and there are loads of agencies that can help you with this. Start with one per page, get it right, and then build. And things like making sure your URL is relevant to the topic so that you are findable. So your link says what your page says, and fill in your metadata. We all know it doesn't necessarily impact your search ranking, but it's a really good marketing tool, and you get to tell your audience exactly what you want them to know, and encourage them to click through, because your clicks also have an impact. The more people that visit, the more search engines think your content is relevant and answering a need. Use your social media channels. It's free. You own them. Drive traffic back to your website. Post links to good quality blogs that you've written. Have a backlink strategy, which again is almost like jargon. But backlinks are just like you said, they are links back to your website. Guest blogging appears to be a bit of a contentious topic at the minute. So don't just guest blog for the sake of guest blogging. Guest blog with value. So guest blog for people who've got the same target market as you, or maybe in a very, very similar industry. So an SEO expert guest blogging for a designer and vice versa, where both of your audiences will actually gain value from your articles. And you've also got search engine marketing, Google Ads, display networks, that sort of thing. What I do want to stress is if your SEO is not right and your social strategy is not right, don't pay for ads. Google Ads should be your bottom of the funnel lead conversion tactic. If you're spending money just on awareness raising on Google Ads, you're not going to earn anything from it. You're not going to convert. You just
lots of money.
Throw money at the wind. It's like throwing a stack of business cards off the top of a small building. What's the point? But if you look into remarketing and work with people who can help you remarket people who are genuinely interested in your services, you'll have a much higher conversion rate with people that are ready to buy. Don't waste your money on top of funnel activities. Your awareness generating activities should be as many of your free owned or guest tools that you've got available to you.
Absolutely.
And do it in the areas where your audience is interested.
Yeah. And the best way to find out how your audience is interested? Ask them. Ask the question. If I could answer any questions for you, what would they be? And then they will give you the answer. They will give you the questions. And you go away and answer them. Couldn't give any better value to people than just answering the questions that they've already got. There's a reason why we've got FAQs on websites. Generally, and this is another tip for websites, if you've got FAQs on the website, make sure it's questions that people are actually asking, not questions that you think people want to know just to promote your brand more. Like, they're rubbish. Like, no one cares. So definitely use real questions. No, there's really good stuff there. I think it's surprising, actually. We did a test with metadata. Now, metadata is not a massive ranking factor as well as it used to be, but just if you haven't got any on the site and you just add it, it does affect your Google rankings. You will get found slightly more. We've seen a significant increase with some brands just from changing the metadata and making it written correctly. If anybody wants any more information on that, drop it in the comments and we'll help them out. I think my one would be, I'm going to practice what I preach. You want more traffic to your website? Use Facebook advertising. Boom. End of. Get on Facebook. It's massively targeted. It's cheaper than LinkedIn. It's cheaper than Google. Especially now it is. And you can target down to such good demographics. You can use layering, which I've spoken about in another show. We will be doing a webinar on that at some point. But how to layer your ads to make sure you're hitting that really specific market that is exactly right for you. Hence, higher click-through rates, then lower ad costs, and loads and loads of traffic that will actually stay on your website. So I would say my big one is take advantage of Facebook advertising. And I'm not going to try and sell my services, but if anybody wants to know how to do it, I know a pretty good academy. That's it. We'll leave that there. Right, we're going to move on to the last point. We've got a few minutes. We've got just about time. And our last point of the day is using affiliates, influencers, and the other ones. What are they called? Not role models.
Brand ambassadors.
Brand ambassadors, which are basically the kind of thing in between. So affiliates and influencers and brand ambassadors. Jan, let's go to you first. What advice have you got for people that are going to use brand ambassadors, influencers, and the other one?
Yeah, affiliates is probably the easiest one to address because they are where people have got a monetary incentive generally to promote your brand. So we use affiliate schemes to get people to drive traffic to our website. That's where they do their marketing, but they're marketing your services or your goods. So it's quite straightforward, but you do need to have something set up where it's automated. WordPress has plugins that will actually set you up with an affiliate scheme, so you can enroll people in that quite simply, quite easily, and automate the whole process right down to payment. So it depends on what you want to do. Brand ambassadors, every one of your customers should be a brand ambassador for you. If you're treating them right, they should be out there raving about you and sharing your stuff. Influence is a funny one. I had this conversation with my 20-year-old earlier. Influencer marketing is particularly prevalent on Instagram with the younger market. And whether it's successful or not for a business, I think very much depends on the business that you're in. It's quite difficult with some of the really big influencers to that sort of late teen, early 20 market for a small business to even be able to afford to go there. But there are plenty of smaller influencers that you can get on with, and you can, I suppose, jump on their feet, really. But if you are going to make use of influencer marketing that you don't have to pay for, then you should be joining in the conversation. It's all about getting in and joining a conversation with something that is relevant to the conversation that's going on with that influencer on that post, that is of interest to them and of interest to their audience, and picking someone where your audience are likely to see it.
Absolutely. I think from an organic side of things, it's a really good way to do it. If you have got limited budgets, then you can obviously engage with people on things like Instagram for influencers. Really easy to engage with them. A lot of them actually will respond, which is nice. Obviously, there are other ways to do it with influencers. There's different influencers on different platforms. I think this is where Jan was going with it more. Make sure the influencers are right for you. It's not just any influencer. If you've got an influencer that all their followers are in their 20s and you're selling the products to people in their 40s, then maybe that influencer on Instagram is not right for you, but you might be able to find a really good influencer on LinkedIn that's got loads of following, loads of interaction. That might work better. So yeah, absolutely. Jen, over to you.
Thinking back probably about 15 years, do you remember the Michael Parkinson ad for life insurance, and you get a free pen just for applying? It's like he was the original influencer, wasn't he? Influencer marketing's always been around, but I think the phrase has just been heightened due to social media. It's a lot easier for people to become influential, especially with things like reality TV, than it used to be. I mean, if you think about it, it's like if Kate Middleton wears a dress from a high street store, it sells out that same morning. As soon as there's a picture seen of it. So she has influence, but you'd never be able to pay her to market anything. But there will be people who you can either pay or encourage to promote your products or service on the social media channels. But yeah, it just depends on what you do. I think with Instagram, influencer marketing is best for the fashion and beauty industries, to be honest. If you're looking for influencers in other industries, I'd maybe look at other channels. But then TikTok would be great if you did dancewear, that sort of thing. I have no idea what Snapchat would be good for because I am way too old for Snapchat.
Not a big fan.
Just too old for that. I did a little bit of research as well this morning on the world's first brand ambassador, and it came up with Katharine Hepburn was a brand ambassador for Givenchy.
Oh, really?
They met when they were both relatively unknowns, and she wore his clothes everywhere, and his brand became synonymous with the elegance of Katharine and movie stardom of Katharine Hepburn. And think back to Michael Jordan and Nike, who apparently really wanted to work with Adidas. But Adidas Adidas wouldn't stump up the same offer that Nike did. So he went with Nike, and the rest, they say, is definitely history. So it just goes to show what a good conversation and having a good relationship with whoever your ambassador or influencer is just goes to show how much you can do for each other.
Absolutely.
And I thought a little bit different from the affiliate perspective. I started thinking about bloggers, people who are professional bloggers, and the way they will put links into their content to drive traffic to Amazon to make a purchase. And if you wanted to monetize your site, you don't actually necessarily just need to do products. Sage have an affiliate scheme. HubSpot have an affiliate scheme. Who else have we got?
The Digital Commando Academy has an affiliate scheme.
Yeah, Wix has an affiliate scheme. Commando Academy has an affiliate scheme. SE Ranking, SEMrush, Moz. So for our industry, almost everyone has an affiliate scheme. So you can get involved with it to improve your financial standing and monetize your website, as well as using WordPress to get affiliates for your business too. What will surprise you is a lot of affiliate schemes have cookies for maybe 1 to 3 months. So if somebody has gone to a website from yours, that website for the next 3 months will remember that that referral came from you. Amazon's is only 24 hours. So if you checked out a blog on your computer and then decided to buy your product from your phone 2 days later, it's tough to McVitie. So you need to, if you want to get into the affiliate marketing industry, it's not, you need to be careful. You need to choose very, very wisely who you're going to allow to market for you, or who you choose to market for. And make sure that cohesion is there, and that your market and their market are one and the same. It's always easier if it's a product you genuinely believe in as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys with affiliates and brand ambassadors to a degree, is the fact that you do need to really believe in the product. No one's going to recommend the product and put their name to it unless they genuinely believe in it. Influencers, they can be bought a little bit, to be honest, but the other two, a lot harder. I think, yeah, with affiliate, I would recommend, if you are selling products, then to create an affiliate scheme. Now, there are fantastic sites that you don't necessarily need to do it for your own website. You've got really, really quite detailed affiliate platforms that you can run. Just Google them, you'll come up with a load of them. I haven't got any affiliate links to the affiliate sites, unfortunately, but go on, jump on those. And I would say now, really good ones are quite expensive. So be aware of that. You might be looking at 500 quid plus to have 100 affiliates on there. Now, if you're a protein company, you're selling protein, then it's great to have affiliates. Get all your gym instructors on there. Boom. Affiliates, they're all making money every time they sell something. Plus, they're going to, obviously, they're incentivized, so they're going to buy more off you. That sort of thing. If you're buying and selling those sorts of products, affiliates are great. If you've got online software, online courses, affiliates are absolutely fantastic. Get really involved. We've got about 20 affiliates, I think, that work for us on the academy, which is absolutely brilliant. We love that. Look after your affiliates and your brand ambassadors. This is really key. Incentivize them outside of their normal payments. Keep them up to date. Give them resources that can help them sell. We created a course just for our affiliates on top of our actual course. So it just teaches our affiliates how to sell, and it gives them the information that they need in regards to how to actually effectively do affiliate marketing. So we're just making them better at doing that and helping them get higher rewards, which then incentivizes us. And then we'll give them prizes. We'll send them gifts every now and again just to say, do you know what? You're doing really well. Thanks very much. So I would definitely say that. With influencers, this is the trick with influencers. Just treat them like affiliates. So when we approach influencers, this is my biggest tip if anybody wants. And I'm on about big influencers as well. They don't have to be small influencers. Instead of them going, and I hate this, on like Instagram, if you want to go and buy this dress, go to the website and put in Daisy 123 for the discount. Well, that doesn't benefit anyone. Number one, it's a discounted product. So the company's already lost money. You're getting an affiliate fee. If anything, they probably won't actually get an affiliate fee on that. They'll just get whatever the brand is paying them per month, which might be, let's say, $3,000 a month. Now, isn't it better for everybody if you go, do you know what? We'll have you as an influencer, but instead of giving you a little code that people use on the website or don't, what we'll do is we'll give you an affiliate link. So people can do the swipe up on Instagram, takes them straight to the page. It's tracked. They buy it. As soon as they buy it, you're getting paid, and we're getting paid. So you're getting paid on performance as an influencer, which is where people have got to be careful with influencers now, so it's safer. And the influencer has got the potential to make more money than the initial money you would have paid them anyway. So they might end up making more, but you're not gonna pay and not get any results, because if you don't get any results, you're not paying for anything, and it is a bit risky influencer marketing if you're not getting the right influencers. So yeah, big tips there, some knowledge bombs. Guys, we're just about out of time, I think, for today. I was going to go to the chat quickly. Cool. Guy, yeah, absolutely amazing to have you on the show. There's loads and loads of information there for people for websites, if they're getting their websites up and running, if they're looking at driving traffic to the websites, or they're looking at using affiliates and influencers moving forward. So thank you very much for joining me on the show. Like I said to everybody that's watching today, if you found anything of benefit, which I'm positive you did, then please do tag somebody in the comments that you feel could benefit from it, or share the whole show with them. Why not? They can watch it on the replay. And that's it. So just to give anybody, if anybody's tuned in slightly late, Jan, we're going to come to you first. Can you just give everybody a reminder of, number one, who you are, what you do, and how people can get in contact with you, most importantly?
Yeah, so I'm Jan Kermas. I run Blue Giraffe websites. we build websites for anybody, from particularly specialising in starter packages on WordPress to get people up and running with their first website. So you can get in touch with us from our website, bluegiraffewebsites.co.uk, and that's spelled BLEU. BLUE. I can't even spell. There you go. Can't spell my own web address. So it's conventional blue giraffe websites, and giraffe as in the animal with a G. And all my contact details are on there. There's some set packages on there. You can go and have a look. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to drop me a line through the website or on Facebook.
Superb. Thank you very much, Jen. And Jen, over to you. What's your name? Where do you come from? What do you do? And how can people get in touch with you?
I am Jen Bradburn, and I am from SEM Help, which literally does exactly what it says on the tin. My website's www.semhelp.co.uk. You can email me, Jen at SEM Help. I'm on Facebook. I have created a small Facebook group, again, called SEM Help, for people who just want some advice. I've got a great bunch of digital marketers, web designers, and SEOs in there. So if you just want a little bit of help here and there, it's not a paid for service. It's just join the group. I'll accept. If you've got any little niggling queries about maybe a free resource for keyword research, or how shall I structure this URL, pop in. And like I said, I've got a great bunch of professionals. You're both obviously welcome to join as well. It's quite a small group at the minute. I've only been in business since the coronavirus happened. I quit my job 2 weeks before lockdown.
Good time to start.
Yay! So it's quite a small group, but I plan to build on it and just be able to give people the support they need. And no query is too small and nothing's too big, to be honest. I customize everything to suit you.
Absolutely. I love Jen practicing what I preach on almost every single show. Everybody's probably waiting for it because I say it on every show, and I haven't said on this one. And it's show people you can help them by actually helping them. It's a good trick. Try it, people. Give good value, give good content. And groups are a fantastic way to do that. So, Jen, that is awesome. Guys, thank you once again for joining me. For everybody who's tuned in today, thank you very much. We will be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. For Thursday Thanks, where we'll be talking about gratitude and paying it forward. Like we said, pay it forward, share this, and tag people in it. So that's good, isn't it? We're on trend for today. Guys, that is it for today. We've just about ran out of time, which was good. Perfect timing actually today. If anybody has got any questions and they want to put them into the feed after the show, if you watch on the replay, then please do tag our guests in, and when they get a second, they'll get back to you, as well as me if you want to ask me any questions. I've been Stefan Wesley, founder of Sigma Digital and the Digital Commando Academy, which teaches you how to go from zero to hero as a Facebook advertiser. So if anybody wants more information on that, please do hit us up. But for today, that's it. We'll see you all tomorrow. To the guests, thank you very much. And everywhere else, peace out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
End of show dance.